Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome.
Welcome to all the participants for this session, Market-led Extension in Agricultural Development. Basically, in Indian agriculture, what is the problem with reference to farmers' development? The first and foremost is the market. This is the word quite often we are hearing. What is the solution as a country? What we have as a solution for this market-led extension? So this is what we are going to discuss in detail about in this session. First thing, agriculture. Agriculture, it was viewed in different perspective as an art during civilization time, how it has been evolved as science, then how it is being operationalized as a business. When you say science, it's a full-fledged profession. Then again, when it comes to business, in the sense agribusiness, whether our farmers are viewing agriculture as a business, it's a biggest question mark. For example, we will take any of the business in the secondary enterprises or in secondary economy. Definitely, there is a profit. What is happening to this agriculture? That's a big question mark. The problem is market. How we are addressing this market? As the father of nations, Mahatma Gandhi said that India lies in villages. It's a quote, but actually, based on this quote, where the agriculture is take place in India, at the state level, district level, block level, exactly where it is take place. The first thing, it take place in every ward. When you say Indian agriculture, it is a ward level agriculture, ward level krishi, which means that the ward is a deciding factor for which crops we need to supposed to choose. But what about the market? We have failed to do in marketing aspect. And in India, we have too many models, agricultural development models are there. For an instance, the model which is developed in Kerala, we couldn't able to replicate in other parts in Kerala. If we developed in Tamil Nadu, we couldn't able to replicate in other parts in Tamil Nadu. Why these hurdles? Of course, agriculture, it is a state subject. There is no doubt about it. But what is the problem? What's stopping this replication of these models? Again, it's a question mark. In India, decentralized planning, it's deeply rooted, especially in the Kerala context. If take the case of example of Kerala, how it is contributing to the farmers' economy. So all those things addressing in these sessions. So when you say this market-led extension, since from 1960s, our Green Revolution, prior to the Green Revolution, even after the Green Revolution, we did only the production-led extension. We are not concerned about anything market. Only we are just merely farmers are viewed as a producer of an agricultural commodities or an horticulture commodities. But the role of extension personnel, it's been redefined when it comes to market-led extension. The first one, earlier you used to give agro-advisory services, but as of now, you have to link the farmers with various service providers. For example, input agency, marketing agency, technical know-how with a research station or an KVK or an university or an ICR institutes. Second thing, the quality input should be ensured when you're thinking about the market. Now, especially the post-COVID, after the post-COVID, the borders are blown out of proportion, where we can able to export our commodity. But whether we have the quality commodity we are producing. So as a base, quality input should be ensured. Timely service provider, it is a very, very important aspect. Whatever you are giving the service, it should be right time, it should be providing, including the credit facilities. Next is your marketing units. Of course, we have the different marketing channels are there. But how these marketing units are operating at the bottom up level, that need to be explored. The top-up credit, which is very much essential, timely credit. And again, the technology providers. We are giving the technology which is suitable to the farmers, because each and every farm is individual, it is unique in nature. Whatever we are having the organization with reference to the specific crops, as of now in the modern days, we are saying FPO, Farmers Producers Organizations. We are saying Rice Growers Association, Pineapple Growers Association, Banana Growers Association. Number of associations are there. As a part of this production-led extension, we formed. So what is the marketing yardstick? We have that. We have the yardstick of, we can able to start up the FPO with the capacity of, starting with the number of 100 farmers. Of course, at the state level also, at the national level also, SFPC is operating. Again, the state level, NGOs also operating to start up these FPOs. Very importantly, value addition in agriculture and allied sector is boosting the economy. That is a very, very important aspect. And the last, especially the consumers. Who are all the consumers? So the whatever we are producing the commodity, it should specifically meet out the requirement of the consumers. Based on that, we need to able to produce our crop or commodity. So now I'm going to introduce the topic on market-led extension. As we know that the globalization of the market is concerned, it is mainly transforming themselves with the producers and sellers. And especially when it comes to this domestic market is concerned, when you're working out with the remuneration, it is very, very less. We can able to extend or explore our market with reference to wider the market beyond the borders. What we require is, we need to realize the returns, how much we are investing and what is the output we are getting out of it. What about the investment? How much the investment? Is there any calculated risk in this enterprise? Need to be analyzed. Then the efforts should be documented. It is very, very important. The basic thing is that we have to maintain a farm diary in each and every crop season basis, which is the basic requisite document as far as market-led extension is concerned. Of course, this market is concerned. It's a general perspective. When you say market, it is already available. We need to ensure that. At the same time, whether this market is giving the profitable returns, we need to ensure from our perspectives. Second thing, the potential risk. What are the risks involved as far as this market is concerned, especially with reference to agricultural commodity? The first and foremost, rapid price fluctuations. For example, we can't predict the agriculture market. For the case of tomato, 180 rupees per kg. Same times, even it is in 12 rupees, 6 rupees per kg. Why these fluctuations? Which means whether the farmers are not prepared enough to meet out the price fluctuations. So what we taught to the farmers? The highly competitive market is very, very important aspect. For example, the same tomato, if you're producing nearby a small shop, probably 30 rupees. If you're selling to the supermarket, it goes to 45 rupees, sometimes 60 rupees, 70 rupees. It's vary from place to place. And we have to ensure that the limited number of buyers, as far as buyers is concerned, the limited, which means you have to arrest the intermediaries in the marketing chain. The very important aspect as far as this market-led extension is concerned, marketing chain should be understood by the producer. That is a concept. That is altogether lead to supply chain management, which is an entirely different context. Next, agriculture marketing in India, as far as the scenario is concerned, hugely more than 6,000 regulated markets are operating in India. And the rural primary markets, more than 15% of the regulated markets are operating. And again, more than 24,000 principal regulated markets are operating in various geographical locations. The regulated markets are having the sub-yards, more than 5,000 regulated markets. If you look into that, overall this scenario, compare than in 1950, we had only 286. But as of now, we have 7,483 markets are there. But even then, farmers are having the issue with the market. What we done about this market and what is need to be done in the market with reference to farmers context. The concept of market-led extension, it is mainly focusing on the extension agencies, where earlier we are focusing only transfer of technology. That's what I told in the initial baseline, the baseline slides. The yield is an important component as far as market-led extension is concerned. At the same time, we need to focus on the self-reliant in the food production. That is a very, very important aspect. When you say self-reliant, but we produce, we attain the self-reliance. At the same time, the WTO regime, it came to implication stating that the international trade need to be expand over for agriculture and food commodities trade with reference to various nations. But what we are supposed to do, we have to create a linkage.
Sorry to interrupt. The slides have gone away, sir.
Sorry, ma'am, slides.
Slides not visible, sir.
One second, ma'am. One second, ma'am.
Yes.
It's visible, ma'am?
Yeah, now it's
Yes,
visible. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Basically, the concept of market led, it's mainly depending on the kind of linkage what we develop with reference to various agencies. It is a very important aspect. Especially, we have to keep in mind only the end users. We have to identify the potential customers, end users, receivers we need to identify to offer the extension services. At the same time, as a producer, you must be aware of your consumers. What are the elements of marketing? The first and foremost thing is that using the market information, correctly you have to use the marketing information. Working with the farmers group, it is important. When we are working with the farmers interest group, then only we came to know what the farmers' ideas regarding this marketing. And we have to orient the, more than production oriented, we have to orient the farmers towards the market. The effective communication playing a very, very important role when it comes to marketing chain, especially with reference to marketing information, price and other things. And why this market-led extension is playing a very, very important role. Even after 74 years of independence, still the quality of the commodity, the timeliness, and again the cost-effective delivery mechanism and inadequate input, all those factors for a farmer, it's a dream. So what we done it exactly? Farmers are not able to sell their surplus produce remuneratively, which means that the farmers are not having any awareness about the production, because they concern about only the productions. They are hugely producing, only the huge amount of production is there, but there is no market, which means the crop diary is not followed. Probably when you're choosing the crop, you must ensure your market, whether it is there or not in the season. Based on that, you have to choose your crop. Plenty of distress sale among the farmers. As a result, you know that in different states in India, it leads to farmer suicide. We are producing the enough to feed the nation, of course, but we couldn't able to meet out the economic status of the farmers. That is again a big question mark. For example, when a professor is going to buy a grocery shop in the supermarket, the same a farmer also buying in the supermarket. So what about the economic status? It's again a big question mark. What are the principles as far as this market-led extension is concerned? The market-led extension mainly focusing on need-based system. Based on the demand, you have to produce your crop. Client-oriented, farmer-specific oriented, you have to produce the crop. And client-oriented in the sense, who are our customers, the target beneficiaries. Accordingly, you have to produce your crop. Mainly, you have to focusing on effectiveness, which means the managerial aspect of the farming is very, very important aspect. You have to maximize the income by means of only through market interventions. As far as the needs of market-led extension is concerned, we have to change the conversion of the prime producer-led extension to market-led extension You have to orient the extension system with reference to the advanced agricultural knowledge as well as the skill, which is related to marketing system. And you have to minimization of the production cost and maximization of the return. It is a very, very important aspect. That is the need of the R as far as the farmer is concerned. And we have to introduce the concept of export-oriented production. That is a very, very important aspect because we have to meet out the different quality parameters as far as our agriculture commodity is concerned. And we need to modernization of the whole wholesale market, where you can able to see that, especially different marketing systems are there. But again, whether is there any agriculture policy supporting for that, we need to implement it even at the grassroots level. So that is a very, very important aspect. The paradigm shift with reference to the production led to market-led extension, it is only there in black and white papers. In very few cases only the initiatives has been started. Uniformly, we have to operate it in the whole country. That is a very, very important aspect. And the purpose of this market-led extension is concerned. The transfer of production technology, as far as this production technology is concerned, we have to enable the farmers to get the maximum or optimum returns out of the enterprise. In any of the enterprise, be it with the agriculture or allied enterprises, the expected end results need to be very specific and it should be evaluated as per the objectives. The delivery of the message, which means the whole package need to be strengthened. Adoption of the package of practice. Mostly the farmers are producing only, the farmers context only. But we're not following the scientific package of practices because in every state they're having this package of practices released by the concerned agriculture universities, state agriculture universities. We need to follow it up. And the high returns should be ensured only by means of, then only we can able to see the farmers as a progressive farmers. Whatever we are producing, we must have the high number of producers, but what about the exporters? It's a very few in numbers. Only, it's only there in the statistics. So we have to ensure that the word farmer, it needs to be reoriented towards agripreneur, which means then only the definition of agriculture into the third one. From arts to it come to science, from science to business, which means we have to look into the farmers as an agribusiness, a businessman. And we had to focus not only the result, which means the yield, we have to focus seed to seed, the wholesome package we have to looking forward that. Then only we can able to process as a wholesome enterprise. We had a different market, different market and yardsticks are there. But at the same time, there is a time where we can able to focus only the rupee to rupee, seed to seed, farm to fork to, the farm to plate. Different concepts are there. But now you have to look only the farmers as an agribusiness, as a business economy, you have to look into that. Whatever the agriculture technologies, which is having the fixed package of recommended as far as the agroclimatic zone is concerned. But we have to ensure that irrespective of the different farming situations, they have to earn their remunerative price. That is very, very important aspect. For that matters, we have to bring even the local farming situations, we have to bring the modernity by means of you can able to bring your basket into different diversity with reference to various crops. Rather than following in single crops, you can able to go the multiple crops, which is required for the essential use of the end users. As far as this, it also leads to, there is two different researchable questions. First one, being an extension perspectives, you have to look into how can I help the farmers to be more competitive in the marketplace. Then only you can able to earn more income. For example, number of business firms are entered into agriculture avenue because they have their own land, they have their own marketing wings, they have their own supermarket, and in that case, the farmers have become sidelined. So how we can able to bring the farmers into mainstream economy? That's the one thing. Second thing, should I continue only providing advice to the production or input only? You have to apply for this pesticide. You have to apply for, this input, this recommendation. This is the role of an extension. Definitely, we need to rethink it and we need to redefine the roles. And a few objectives are there. The first one, conversion of the agriculture sector into profit-oriented business. Second one, you have to strengthen the research extension farmers linkage with reference to various departments, state line department and various levels of agencies, where you can able to strengthen in the market linkage, mainly with the farmers. You have to inculcate the application of information technology, information and communication technology into agriculture marketing. Because as of now, since we are living in an information era, how we can able to inculcate this IT wing into agriculture marketing. We have to wider use of the electronic mass media when with reference to the agriculture machinery is concerned. And also we have to ensure that to enable the farmers to get maximum returns from a particular commodity or an enterprise. When you're saying this farmer, of course, in this concept, we are looking as an agripreneur. But at the same time, we have to convert them as an aspirants. Then only they'll really turn into a true entrepreneur. The extension agent need to be facilitated with a significant profit as far as the farmer is concerned. So that is a main role we need to focusing on. So who are all the actors involved in the process of market-led extension? The first is the service providers. And again, second is the different service providers, starting from input, marketing, all those things. Service users, end users. Then again, the public, general public, then private agencies. Then again, what about these NGOs, non-governmental organizations, how they will be involving in this process? Some basic prerequisites, which is very much essential as far as this extension and extension system as well as farmer is concerned. The first one, present agriculture scenario, especially in front of the farmers, what is the land use pattern we are using it? What are the crops we are choosing it? And what is the return we are expecting out of it? And you have to choose the suitability of the landholding size with reference to various enterprise. It's vary from farmer to farmer. And one more thing is that the crop is very demand in future. That sort of crops, for example, after this COVID, passion fruit become boon as far as these fruits among the fruit crops. Again, dragon fruits. So those sort of initiative has to be done. And at the same time, we have to find out the marketing part. If there is won't be market, then how we can able to convert it into a value addition? Probably a squash, all those things. We have to think of all those things and ensure that we have to have those sort of mechanisms available for the access to the farmers. That is very important aspect. The market price is an important aspect because most of the times the farmers are having the huge production. Even most of the farmers in India, they're not very few farmers only they're following this regulated market. All those things it need to be get it about. And availability of the input is a very important. Timely availability of the input, and again this input should be locally available for the farmers. That is very very important aspect. Again, the credit facilities. Then whatever the consumers are preferring. So based on that, the marketing network of the local areas with reference to various price fluctuations, all those things are there, but the marketing network need to be strengthened. That is a very, very important aspect. Again, we need to promote the storage and warehouse facilities as far as this, cold storage facilities, especially for the fruits and vegetables, all those things. There is a number of projects we're having, these objectives, all those things. But at local level, at grassroots level, it's a very, very countable number of units were established in India. And again, the transport facilities, which is a very, very important aspect, because this is the main reason where Indian agriculture is, in most of the time, we are having the lacuna as a crunch as far as this agricultural economy is concerned with reference to the farmer's context. And we have to regularly update in the market intelligence. As far as market intelligence is concerned, the market information need to be informed to the farmers on daily basis. The production technologies, whatever you are having, like, improved varieties, organic farming, usage of the biofertilizers, biopesticides, integrated pest management disease, nutrient management, and right methods of harvesting, all those things, it need to be emphasized and we need to be followed. That is very, very important aspect. In most of the times, because the conventional methods of farming and the market-oriented farming, the difference is that you need to follow the scientific package of practices. That is a very, very important aspect, because it goes to the quality assurance. And again, as far as the post-harvest management is concerned, you can able to promote the processing, grading, standardization of your produce, your value addition, packaging, storage. Mainly the certification is very, very important aspect. With reference to various food grains, fruits, vegetables, egg, poultry, fisheries. In wholesome agriculture and allied enterprises, we can able to focus, but we need to follow the right scientific methods of package and practice. That is the important aspect. And very importantly, the we must have the terminal markets, private modern terminal markets. We can able to, through if you don't have any issue with that, we can able to promote the contract farming also. But at the same time, we have to ensure that through this group approach, probably the self-help groups, all those things are the farmers interest group, we can able to operate the food retail chains. One important aspect, food safety and quality, when you're looking for the post-harvest aspect is of the commodity is very, very important aspect, and it need to be certified. Then only we can able to meet the WTO regulations, and we can able to promote this export scenario. And why we need to work with the private sectors? Obviously, there is a public and private. There is sometimes we had the good number of models are there in India. At the same time, we had a clashes, but even it couldn't able to move forward for the betterment of this, the farmers. Various reasons are there in every case by case. If you deal with every case by case. With reference to the public-private partnership, of course, it's one of the venture where we can able to promote it. At the same time, the linkage is, as far as the linkage is concerned, you have to the working relationship where you can able to establish with the organizations, be it public and private. It should be proper working instruction should be given. At the same time, then only you can able to look after the improved productivity in the farmers field. Now you're looking for the flow chart as far as this market-led extension is concerned. And mainly, we are concerned about first thing, being a farmer, you have to keep in mind what I'm going to produce. The farmer should be aware of it. Second one, he must have the analysis of landholding size. And in my land, what are the crops like soil test, water test, all those things he has to do. Based on the suitability of the landholding, he can able to choose his enterprise. Then he has to decide, as far as the decision making is concerned, how much I'm going to produce from the unit of the land. So what about considering this market scenario and how I'm going to produce, whether it is a traditional or market. Obviously, the farmers will come to the dilemma. Then you have to strictly ensure that if you're going for an export or the quality product, you have to follow the scientific practices. And post-harvest management, you have to looking for the options. If it is not there, then you have to access this or you have to create a network as far as this post-harvest management is value addition is concerned with the various institutions. And again, you have to looking for the value addition. What are the potential products from where you can able to come out of your product? That is very important aspect. Then again, you have to think of the storage and transport. How you can able to send it to the, especially when big market yard, export, all those things. Again, where to sell, the market need to be determined. And when to sell, the timing is important. It's something season based. So the time is very, very important aspect. And what price? For example, when you're going for a textile, the rate is already fixed. The price tag is there. Do we have the commodity? The farmers can able to fix the rate. Still, it's a big question mark. So those sort of trends need to set in the farmers as far as Indian farmers is concerned. And again, you have to think of the selling mechanisms, which means how this marketing mechanism will be incorporated. At the end, how this income will come, and you have to calculate it. That is very, very important. How much you invested, how much you get it back as from your investment. That need to be calculated. It's not only just working with only the BC ratio. Each and every rupee is counted, and it need to be profitably worked out. As far as the lens view of this market-led extension is concerned, the first thing I told you, market information is important, and training and consultancy. You have to train the farmers with reference to market lens. You have to offer the consultancy with reference to market basis. And agribusiness management is a very, very important aspect. How we can provide such a market consultancy to the farmers. That aspect we need to think, and we need to promote it. And a few enhanced roles as far as this extension function is concerned in the light of the market-led extension. First and foremost, you have to ask the farmers to do SWOT analysis as far as your market is concerned, where you're producing and where you're selling it out. And whether you have following any group approach, which means organization-based approach or farmers interest-based approach. Based on that, where you can able to say that, supporting and enhancing the logically established groups. For example, for a few reasons, certain groups have been formulated, especially for the marketing purpose, to expand our business. So all those things need to be worked out. And you have to enable the direct marketing by the farmers. You have to enable the marketing, because that opportunity we need to create it and we need to give it to the farmers, probably with various parameters. You have to establishing the marketing as far as the agro processing is concerned with reference to the linkages, various agencies, various firms, we need to create it out. And you have to provide the regularly updated and complete market intelligence. As far as you take the case of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University is having the market intelligence cell, they'll be keep on updating this price forecasting informations. And we can able to promote this use of internet facilities as far as to get updated on the market intelligence. Promoting the farmer is concerned, it's always a contact farming. It's not only the solution. Apart from this, also where you can able to ask them to produce and you can able to regulate them with the different food retail chains. Probably in Orissa, they'll be having that. As far as millet is concerned, millet on wheel. There is a concept is there. There is a marketing. Everything it is there. Different restaurants, cafe, everything it is there. End of the day, the farmers are getting the benefit. The government are also promoting with various millet missions and promoting the organic farming. Of course, it is one of the main agenda of the government of India. At the same time, we can able to educate the farmers, mainly with reference to the food safety and quality. You have to revamp the soil and soil ecosystem. The macro climate in the field, we need to revamp it. It's been, like over 70 years, we keep on updating the things, but we need to revamp it. And the organization of the study tour, probably with a different different foreign agency, we can able to accomplish. Even the government mentioned that they can able to send the farmers to get to know about the different success stories in various lands. And a few problems associated with the market-led extensions. Probably it will be viewed in a 3-dimensional challenges as far as market-led extension is concerned. The first thing, production dimension. Seasonality of the production. It's mainly supply not only uniform, but also the perishability in nature with reference to fruits and vegetables. Proper storage facility need to be strengthened and it should be ensured. Then only we can able to say that, rather than bulkiness of the production, we must, based on the requirement, we can able to produce the crop. Second is the market dimension. This is something like the lack of information about the market at the same time, especially the market intelligence. Farmers should aware of this existence of the middleman in the various quality with reference to the inferior quality. When you're producing the good quality, where you can able to send in anywhere in the part in the world. Third one is the extension domain, mainly the agro advisory services with reference to the communications and the credibility with the informations, and mainly the insufficient information. Sometimes, it's a half of the information, it won't work out. You have to get the proper full information, which is very much important aspect as far as market-led extension is concerned. And a couple of challenges are there. The first and foremost things is that rapid changes in information and technology. So with reference to cyber extension, of course, it is an extension over cyberspace, but now everything it is available in the YouTube, again, WhatsApp, Facebook, all those things. Whether the farmers are all the practices they'll be adapting or following it up, it's a big question mark. So as a collectivity basis, we need to strengthen it up. Strengthen this cyber extension where we can able to link with the farmers. And you can able to generation of this idea with reference to market intelligence is concerned with various line departments, which means the line departments in different enterprises. We can able to reorient the extension system completely. We need to shift it, reorient the extension system. Just giving the role of only subsidy mechanism to you can able to create a linkage with the various different stakeholders. And you can able to strong communication skills with the credibility of the information, which is a very, very important aspect as far as the market extension aspect is concerned. And if you look into the market-led extension prospectus, the first thing is that market-led extension has a great potential, but how optimum we can able to produce the sustainable basis, considering the current trend of the challenges in the food, especially in the food production. It's a scenario in globally. So we need to think of that. It's been in the past years, it's set a lab to land program. Number of programs has been had a milestone in Indian agriculture. And the very important aspect, you need to focus the farm to fork. The same thing from the land of farm to when it comes to the fork or a plate or to the end users. How much rupees, this channel is being passed to the commodities and how much rupees the farmers is actually getting out of it. So that need to be one of the main prospect. And one more thing is that the countries with the competitive advantages need to be focused with reference to forward and backward linkages. This need to be focusing throughout the world. And however, the new functionary role of the extension personnel is concerned, market-led extension is concerned. it should be granted for agriculture development, especially in particular in Indian context. The role of extension functionary is first thing, the SWOT analysis, of course, then the organizing the commodity-based farmers interest group. Again, the forward and backward linkages need to be ensured and it should be strengthened, because all those things need to be, as of now, we are, it's only in the question mark, but we need to strengthen it up. Different mechanisms are there to explore, but we have as only in the different pockets in India, but we need to collectively, combinedly, we need to pull together, then we can able to replicate these models. The farmers are mainly the farmers are having the exposure to market intelligence as far as this, the quality as well as the decision making of the market, where I am going to sell this product. The very important aspect is that we have to empower the farmers, both in quantity as well as the quality. Mainly, we have to shift the farmers by means of the scientific knowledge. So this is a sole responsibility of the extension functionaries. A few way forwards as far as this market extension is concerned. The training program, whatever you are organizing, it's not only for the name shake, just for production aspect. You need to ensure that the training program main agenda should be strengthening the market or exploring the market potentials and avenues for your commodities. And you can able to capitalize the skill of the grassroots level officers, because of course, number of field level officers implementing units are there. You need to capitalize and you have to strengthen their skill set. That is a very, very important aspect, because this skill set only playing a very, very important role when it comes to helping the farmers out of the troubles, where you can able to scaling up the capacity building of an individual by means of decision making as well as the management activities. The basic concepts and issues in agriculture marketing is concerned. The market system, whatever we are having that by means of the collection of the raw material, processing and dissemination of the market information. Ensure that we are going to help the farmers to access the market by collective action. It could be a group approach or a business linkage, or it could be in any other assessment. But we have to properly ensure that the monitoring phase is very, very important. Monitoring and evaluation, it is a very, very important aspect as far as agriculture development is concerned. And one more thing is that the introduction of the market-oriented approach in the extension discipline itself, it's a very, very important aspect. The development of the local market with reference to promoting this local consumption is important aspect. And entrepreneurial, these attributes need to be taught to the training in the farmers. Linking the farmers directly to the market. It's a well and said approach. At the same time, we need to practically implement it. We can able to reorient the market reforms as far as Indian agriculture is concerned. The formation of the market-led extension, it's not only just nearly not for the name shake. We have to ensure that whether the farmers are, in my farm, I'm producing this much commodity. If at all, I couldn't able to find out the market, what is the alternative? The farmer need to think in his own perspectives. And again, for that matters, the policy, the government machinery, policies and implementing officials, implementing departments, with reference to various outreach programs, activities should be taken place with various regional development throughout the states. To conclude the bottom-up line, with reference to the market-led extension is concerned, the focus of the extension functionary need to be beyond the production. That is market. The extension machinery look into the farmers only, we can able to give the lens to the farmers by means of a market. The farmer should be sensitized on various aspects. That's what, as I told, market intelligence, quality, consumer preference, again, the processing, valuation with reference to various marketing information. Even the price, the farmer should be well aware of it. The farming community should realize high returns will come only, not only the production perspective, it also from the cost parameters we need to work out. And mainly the marketability is one of the biggest issue. It will be solved through only market-led extension. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. I will take up the questions from the participants now. In the meantime, can you please stop sharing the screen, sir?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So shall we check if you're on your camera or your voices?
Yeah, sure. Shall I on my camera?
Yeah, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think you need to stop sharing the screen, sir. Then your video will come.
Okay, one second. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir, this is fine.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take up the questions now.
Yes.
And the first question is, what are the key challenges and opportunities associated with implementing market-led extension programs in different agricultural contexts?
Ma'am, as far as market-led extension is concerned, mainly the state departments, the different state departments, now they're promoting with reference to market is mainly different schemes. For example, in the context of Kerala, now we have the farm plan scheme. And let me explain about this. This particular farm plan scheme is, earlier we had different models, but as of now, this particular model is concerned, it is very, very unique in nature. Basically, the farmer minimum criteria is the farmer who's having own land 10 cent. It's a minimum criteria, maximum up to 2 acre. The farmer can be registered in AIMS portal. He's also a member of the Krishi Kutam, which means the farmers group. So these are the criterias. They can able to promote this market is concerned. As far as the landholding size is concerned, in a block 8 panchayats are there, where the farmers able to produce in different localities. They can able to bring their product to a particular common place. From there, they can able to sell based on the weekly market. There is one option because the rate is fixed by only the farmers. Second thing, there are farmers, they'll be taking this commodity to the export level, where we are facilitating with the universities and departments, mainly licensing, all those things. The third thing, the farmers FPOs mainly promoting, and it's been properly monitored. That is one of the biggest model as far as in Kerala government is concerned, because this particular plan is viewed over the 5 years, next 5 years. Now we are in the second year of implementation of the program. Probably this particular model can be replicated in all over the world.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question, sir. How can market information systems be integrated into extension services to provide farmers with timely and relevant information on market trends, price, and demand?
Ma'am, as far as marketing is concerned, as of now, the research wing, the implementations department, extension department, and farmers, the research extension farmer, it's being linked for certain cause, but it's mostly it isn't detached. For an instance, I'm telling you, the informations, whatever different commodity boards, they're giving these informations, it is available only in the concerned website. It is not been forecasted to the implementation officials. The farmers are reliable only to the Krishi officials, means agriculture officers, agriculture departments. But most of the farmers, they're not aware of it. It is available only in the concerned site, which means that it should be pulled together all the information where we can able to access in a common particular platform for all the commodity, especially all the crops in the state. Then only we can able to get the proper reliable information from the source. That is a very, very important aspect.
Okay, I'll take up the next question, sir. What are the key indicators of success in a market-led agriculture extension program?
The first thing, ma'am, as far as market-led is concerned, quality should be ensured. If we are having the quality, we do not want to compromise on price, the quality of the things. Second thing, the method of production, scientific method of production need to be enforced. Third thing, the harvesting, the timely operation of the harvesting need to be emphasized. Then only we can able to fetch the remunerative price. These three are playing a very, very important
role. Okay. What strategies can extension services adopt to empower farmers to become more market-oriented in their agricultural practices?
Ma'am, the first thing is that the farmers should be ready to open up their mindset towards adoption of the scientific practices. Second thing, most of the cases, it's been initiated only for the time being. Again, the particular technology or an innovation, it has been discontinued. It should be continuously followed. Then only we can able to reach a place where we can able to say that this particular farmers or a farmer group can acclaim their success by means of the returns. The very important aspect throughout the state at the central level need to be this particular market aspect. Of course, they are working on with the different schemes, but the policy should come out and it should be reinforced at the from the grassroots level. That is a very, very important aspect. Then only we can say that the farmers having the opportunity to sell their product and promoting the export, all those things. We can able to say that.
Okay. In what ways can local communities be actively involved in driving market-led agricultural development?
Ma'am, if we take the farmers from Palakkad, especially we take, for example, we take the millet farmers. Still, the farmers are just producing the crop. But in most of the cases, various NGOs, they'll be making a few value-added product on those things. But the farmers are just merely only the producers. But in the name of when the commodity goes into the market, in the name of, it's a this particular product, it's produced from the tribal hamlet. For example, Attapadi, even in Orissa also, it's been produced. But in these cases, mostly the middleman and functionaries intervention is huge because we couldn't able to control over this existence of the middleman. So mainly we can able to teach the farmers, you are a producer, you have to able to connect with the end users, mainly the consumers. Probably that is the way we can able to upbringing or we can able to scale up this community.
Okay, and move on to the next question, sir. How can technology be leveraged to support market-led extension services for farmers?
Ma'am, the technology, whatever we are developing, it should be. First thing, we had to keep in mind while developing the technology for the local farmers and his landholding size. Based on the landholding size, the technology should be available and affordable to the farmers. Most of the technology by nature, it is high cost. The farmers could not able to adapt it. So that is the reason we couldn't able to reach out, or we can able to reach out the maximum number of the masses, especially with reference to farming community. So we have to keep in mind our stakeholder. Key client is the farmers while developing the technology.
Okay. What are the examples of successful market-led extension programs around the world, and what lessons can be learned from their experiences?
Madam, this experience sharing is concerned. As far as in India is concerned, we have our own models. In Asia level also we have models. From Middle East we have, from European countries, Netherlands, everywhere we have the models. But again, if you look into the West, compare than the West, the models are, the agriculture, the farms, the producer land is viewed into a corporate agriculture. Whereas in Indian farms are mainly the small and marginal farmers. Most of the times we couldn't able to meet out their strategies as it is like in the West, but what we can able to do, the mechanism what they're following with reference to the market, that we need to adapt in India. I think in Asia and all, Global Forum, Agro Advisory Services and all in India, they were doing the wonderful job, and they'll be exchanging with a number of policy briefs, success stories, and what are the lessons we can able to learn from other countries. Everything it's been available in the site. I think if it is required, I will share with you the concerned website. Different cases also documented.
Okay.
Yes.
In what ways can policymakers support the implementation of market-led extension programs, and what policy changes might be necessary to create an enabling environment for such initiatives?
The very first thing is that we need to stop giving the subsidies to the farmers. Rather than subsidies, we have to ensure that the farmer should know. They have to get the information. From that, they have to plan their marketing process. That is a very, very important. For that matters, we need to set up a model or an avenue for the farmers where they can able to access the information. Because just merely giving the subsidy probably, and again, the existing marketing environment, the macro climate itself, farmers are forced to sell their product. The main reason is that they're inferior. They're having the inferiority as far as the quality of the product is concerned. If they're having the good quality, they can able to demand it. And very importantly, the farmer socioeconomic system need to be strengthened. Then only they can able to meet out those challenges.
Okay. What are the social and economic impacts of market-led extension on farmers and rural communities?
Madam, the first thing start from education, the level of awareness. It's an important aspect. The peer group discussion. Probably we need to discuss the things, what is happening in my field, what is happening in your field. This is the problem I'm encountering. This is the problem you're encountering. We need to embrace the farmers' peer group discussion. That is a very, very important aspect. Though there is a competition is there among the farmers, who is getting the better price and where is the market avenue, we need to promote the peer group discussion. Then we can able to collectively sort out this market as far as the grassroots level people is concerned.
Okay. How can extension services collaborate with private sector stakeholders, including agribusiness and input suppliers, to create synergies that benefit both farmers and the market?
Now we can able to create the synergies, and at the same time, we must have a defined instruction, or you can say that working instructions. When a private public machinery and private partner is collaborating with a particular project or a particular agribusiness context or a particular commodity or a particular farmers group or an FPO, we must have, for example, when you're extending your technical know-how or your technical support to the particular group, it should be based on RBI guidelines. So even when it comes to input supply and all, we have to ensure that the farmers are giving only in the initial phases, mostly in the private sectors, they will be giving the good quality input, timely input. But in later stage, the quality start deteriorating, probably due to the various contract agreements, all those stuff. We couldn't able to discontinue their the agreement. So the better we can think of that the contract should be based on 6 months or even 8 months. If it is in short-term period, there we can able to look for another private partners if it is necessary.
Okay. Sir, how can extension services promote farmers' entrepreneurship and the development of agricultural value chains without a market-led framework?
Madam, it is impossible. The first thing is that when we are thinking of entrepreneurship, definitely we must have the market-led extension. I mean, the market is the yardstick. But when it comes to grassroots level, the role is, they were thinking that it's my role is only to produce, and whatever at the ease of cost, I'm getting it. With that, I have to satisfy it even at the cost of debt. They're continuing the profession as it is like that. But what is required is that the farmers should be sensitized towards this entrepreneurial spirit of a venture. That is a very, very important aspect. Because producer is someone and marketing is looked after by somebody else. And again, this promotion, all those things, especially this advertisement, all those things looked by somebody else. The processor, the commodities processed and labeled everything by somebody else. So it is a big a team is behind working for a particular commodity. That is why it comes into different brand names. But the farmers should take themselves. When the business firm can do that, why can't we do it? Probably a 15 number of farmers, they can able to collectively do it at their level. Probably they can able to fetch a high remunerative price.
Okay. Before we conclude, can you please tell us about yourself and your background and how you got interested in this particular field?
Ma'am, I have completed, I'm Dr. Esakkimuthu. I completed my undergraduate from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Agriculture College and Research Institute, Killigaram. Through ICR, I got the ranking for my PG admission in Kerala Agriculture University. And again, I wrote UGC NET and lectureship until I cleared. Then again, I joined in GB Pant University, India's #1 first agriculture university, GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar in Uttaranchal, my PhD. Then again, worked in ICR and ASRP schemes. Then again, I joined in the Regional Agriculture Research Station, Pilicode. I worked in the research station. Basically, I worked on coconut, cashew, rice, vegetables, and of course, a few components when it comes to animal husbandry component. Since I was posted in research, most of my assignments, I worked only in the different pockets in Kerala, with reference to northern part in Kerala, because the scenario which is existing in Kerala, it is in Kerala with reference to Kasaragod, entirely different from Kannur district. So, especially for the rice growers, all those things, we created an opportunity for farmers with reference to yellow mandal. So, there is a number of models has been evolved as a result of these initiatives. Of course, I worked in a headquarters, Northern Zone Regional Agriculture Research Station, Pilicode. Then again, I am very recently, I think probably 3 years back, I joined in College of Agriculture. Now I'm teaching for UG, PG, and PhD, BTech Biotechnology, and horticulture therapies. All those students I'm teaching. Apart from this, I'm working as a nodal officer for the farmers of Kilimanur block.
Okay, that's very nice to hear, sir. How did you get particularly interested in this field, sir?
Yes, madam, because the reason is that one of my teacher only inspiration, because as far as my agriculture extension, the reason I chose behind only my teacher, my professor who taught me in undergraduation. That is the reason I chose. And again, I'm serving the farming community. Of course, my PG advisor and my PhD advisor, they were the inspirations to get into this field. Again, I'm working for the farmers in 6 days. Probably two days in a week, I'm having the field work, tie up, meeting the farmers and organizing for their, preparation of the farm plan, their business plan, all those things I'm working out. And again, I'm giving my input regarding this technical know-how. I'm extending my service to the Kerala State Line Department as well as the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Development, Government of Kerala.
Okay, that's very nice to hear, sir. Thank you very much. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Dr. Esakkimuthu M for the talk and for answering the questions. I like to also thank all the participants in the meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the
Most
opportunity.
welcome,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.